Hello, I forgot I had a short clip of the church that Maria and Mr. Von Trapp got married from The Sound of Music. The church is called Basilica St. Michael in Monza, Austria. We woke up early for breakfast as we wanted to check out the interior before it got busy. Beautiful space with lots of tables, it was nicely lit, and there was a huge variety of food. Aside from the Westin Hotel, this is probably my favorite place to eat. There were lots of cold cuts, of course, but also an island of fruits. I didn't record, but there were 2 authentic Viennese desserts, hot foods, eggs, and a huge table of desserts. And there were lots of homemade things such as freshly pressed juices, yogurts, and more. Those are the options. Number 3, go to E. This is cool but a bit inconvenient. The caps are attached to the bottles so you won't lose it, but it's sometimes hard to drink it with that on. We had a local tour guide this morning where she explained about the different rooms and history of this palace. It was a good idea to go in the morning because there are fewer tourists and it was not as hot. You guessed it, no AC, but most rooms had a Dyson fan. Schönbrunn Palace was the summer home for the Habsburg family. The meaning of Schönbrunn is beautiful spring. There are 1,441 rooms, and this palace also has a massive garden, mazes, and a zoo too. When you walk around, make sure to look down to admire the flooring, but also all around you so you can enjoy the details, paintings, arts, furnitures, and more. The Hall of Mirror was where Mozart played for the Empress Maria Theresa at the age of 6. They also added more mirrors, hence the name is called the Hall of Mirrors because it made the room way more grand and spacious looking. Maria Theresa was loved by many, so in many of the rooms we visited, there were lots of paintings with her in it. Let's talk a bit more about the Habsburg and Maria Theresa. The Habsburg family was a very powerful empire that reigned for hundreds of years.
In the renovation of the palace. And what you can see here on the walls, the wall hangings, they are made of Chinese rice paper, around 300 years old. So going back to the time of Maria Theresa. And you can see the drawings in the green fields. And they all depict Chinese tea ceremony. It's a beautiful impression. So the original wall hangings, also the original wall. This goes back to the period around 1800. That's classicism style, which is more straight than the Baroque style.
They were smart with making connections with the right people, such as religious leaders and strategic marriages. They were also good at producing heirs, as they would have many children. For example, Maria Theresa had 16 children of her own. Since Charles VI had no sons, Maria Theresa became his successor. He married Francis I, who were cousins. Like I mentioned, though many marriages were for the sake of connections and power, Francis and Maria Theresa loved each other, and when Francis passed away in 1765, the Empress wrote endless letters about her love for him and remained as a widow until she passed away in 1780. Another relative, Franz Joseph, was Emperor of Austria, and he ruled quite a lot of areas. He married Empress Elizabeth, known as Sisi. We'll learn more about her soon too, as she was also beloved by many. Though the Habsburg monarchy has ended, there are still about 600 descendants still alive today. Most are just living regular lives, and some are more fortunate than others, such as one called Karl Habsburg, who is an Austrian politician right now. She was known for creating more effective armies, made education mandatory for boys and girls, improved tax collections and state finances, reduced the power of local lords and improved peasants' rights, and limited certain religious power groups. Those are some of the reasons why people loved her.
Joseph, and she brought the portraits of emperors.
If you look closely at this picture, everyone is pointing left, which meant that Maria Theresa was the head, and she points to herself because it means she's the ruler. After the tour, we had about 30 minutes to explore other areas. We quickly used the bathroom, which was very pretty. It's like you're in a forest. We then walked through a rose garden area and went up some stairs to admire only a tiny snippet of the garden. It had a lot of Greek and Roman god statues, and they were massive. If it wasn't so hot, and if we had more time, I would totally walk a little bit more in this garden and appreciate how grand this place is. All the way there, all the way there. It's too hot, but you can go all the way there, all the way there, and there.
In between, that's the street I mentioned before. It's only around 15 minutes to walk. Right? It's the monument of Ludwig van Beethoven. You can see him sitting beneath the trees on your right-hand side. Well, his monument was built on the opposite side of the building on your left-hand side. Next to it, that's the University of Music. I told you that Vienna is called the city of music, and the most famous concert is the New Year's concert, which is broadcasted in more than 100 countries worldwide. And it always ends with a very famous piece of music, and maybe you know that. This is the Radetzky March.
After the palace, we had a walking tour around part of Vienna since it's a bigger city. We did a big circle in one area called Ringstrasse. We saw the city hall and parliament.
where we passed through the 1660s, and then the last connecting wing on the opposite side, the 1720s. So you can see nearly every emperor added his own part.
It was getting quite hot, so our tour guide treated us to some ice cream again. I got strawberry and it was delicious. They also said the store was fairly new and it's popular. I feel like we have a bad habit of eating ice cream as a morning snack. The walking tour ended when it was closer to lunchtime and we stopped in front of the Albertina, which was also a museum with free restrooms. Dad and I walked around the blocks as I wanted to get some souvenirs for myself and for Mom. Having fun with it? It's dancing. We had about 2 hours before we met up again to get on the tour bus. It wasn't a lot of time, but we got a few things and then had lunch. We went to Mozart Cafe and I liked how they had light mists that sprayed from time to time because it was getting humid. We were also glad that we ordered one entree to share because it was massive. Dad got a beer and I got an iced tea. We shared a huge pork schnitzel that came with salad and potatoes. The schnitzel was so good, juicy, and they beat the pork up until it was super thin before they fried it. The batter was light and it didn't feel oily. You could add some jam or lemon onto the schnitzel, which made it also refreshing. The potato and salads were good too. After resting a bit, we just checked out the info center and then headed back to where the tour bus was. It took us back to the hotel, but we first dropped off those who wanted to go on the extra excursion. I saw it with my own eyes but couldn't take a picture. There are very pretty colorful buildings just down the street that you should go check out too. Unfortunately, it was too hot and humid, so after resting a bit at the hotel, it was time for dinner. We went to an Italian place called Vapiano. It was very interesting. You get a card or cards and you go to specific counters to order. For example, there's a pizza section. If you want pasta, you go to the pasta counter. Then you get a buzzer to notify you when your food is ready. At the end of your meal, you then give the card to the server. It's almost like an arcade chargeable card, but for food. Do we order pizza here? Okay. Can we have one prosciutto funghi? Yes. Thank you. Oh.
Just one pizza.
One pizza.
Thank you.
Thank you.
叫你翻得攞。
你揸住呢個係有錢嘅，呢個 connect 住啦，你揸住一齊啦。我呢個冇錢。It was very hot that day, and I felt bad for the chefs because they had to cook on a spot and it was steaming hot over there. We got one pizza to share, and good thing we only ordered one thing. It was a good-sized pizza with a lot of prosciutto ham and mushrooms. I liked how it was thin crust and a light amount of cheese. It went very well with my Austrian soda, and my dad enjoyed his beer. After eating, we went to the supermarket one more time to explore and digest. We then realized that across the street there is also another indoor area, so we walked around. 呢邊又有啦，上高又有啦。We went into one store and realized the whole 2 floors was actually one entire store. It was a bookstore with other stationaries and cute things too. It reminded me of Powell's or Barnes & Noble. It was very fun walking around there. And in that area, there were a few restaurants too. I hope to visit Vienna again in the future because it was too hot for me to really walk and explore other areas by foot. 15-minute walking distance one way is not bad at all, but during a heat wave, no thank you. Health first. Alright, we need to pack up and get ready to go to the last country, Hungary.